Okay, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hillsborough and Hunterdon Real. I'm here with my good friend Lisa Lees. Lisa, thanks for being with us today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So before we dive into your recent accomplishments and just kind of your journey, your inspirational journey, why don't you just give everybody a little bit of background, where you live, and tell us about your kids, and then I'll dive into some questions.
Okay, what's up, guys? So I currently live in Cranford, New Jersey. I grew up in Manville, New Jersey, and I'm a mom of three. I have a 14-year-old, Gianna. My son is 10, Joseph, and my little Penelope will be 3 in February.
Very good.
Yeah.
So
But
you, I met you. I'm trying to think how long ago we met.
oh my God, that was forever ago.
Yeah, almost 10 years. So it's shortly after
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
I
It's been,
still look good, right?
yeah. Yeah. Look better than ever.
Like fine wine.
So before we go into, you know, uh, the recent pro status you attained, I want to kind of
Mhm.
build up to that. So how long has fitness been a part of your life? Like, how did you get into fitness? What was the impetus to get into that?
So honestly, I feel like it started when I was a kid. My sister's ex-husband was into bodybuilding, and I was in awe watching him and his good friend Anthony. And that's when it started. I started working out at 13. I was, in and out of the gym, obviously not to the level that I'm at, but I was always in there trying to do something. Then I had gotten really sick when I was 19. I had a tumor. I had a very large tumor, and that was like the turning point for me. That was okay, this is not going to happen again. My family history is not going to predict my future. And that was one of the points where I really went into this more intensely. And then when I had children, I refused to look like a mom, like the average mom. I didn't want to be that person. Everybody, when I became pregnant, everybody's like, oh, there goes this, and you'll never have abs, you'll never do that. I'm like, yeah, okay, watch me. So there was a few different points in my life that brought me to where I am today.
And each one just kind of kept propelling you
Kept
forward.
and fueling me and firing to keep going. Right.
I don't know if I knew about the tumor. How did you wind up having surgery for that, or was it?
Major surgery. It was emergency surgery. And honestly, I had that tumor for a long time, and no doctors would listen. I was 13 years old. I'd be doubled over in pain, crying to doctors, and they're like, this kid just doesn't want to go to school. And it was ignored for so many years that the tumor engulfed half my reproductive system.
Wow.
Yeah. So they found it on, for example, Monday. I was in emergency surgery by Tuesday. But thank God everything was benign. A lot, very hard recovery. And I had many other tumors after that.
Did you?
Yes. So 2009 was the last time I had a submandibular tumor that basically had wrapped around my glands, but it was so large that they thought I would never speak again. I actually, when I smile, my smile is somewhat crooked
Huh.
still because I had lost feeling to half my face. But for about a year and a half before I got my smile back.
Did
But
did
yeah,
they?
so there's a lot.
What was the cause of these tumors? Did they?
So honestly, Kyle, I 100% think that the fact that my parents weren't so educated on nutrition, my mom was a very hardworking mom. She'd go to work 4 p.m. till midnight. I would rarely see her. My father was basically taking care of us, and at that point, like the knowledge that we have today with nutrition didn't exist, and we would eat anything, and I feel like that had something to do with it, along with other, personal issues that I feel like when you hide those things, your body's going to manifest and it show your feelings another way.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of, things that I had stored as a child, things that, we all go through crap in life. And I didn't deal with that stuff. So my body put it in places in order to be able to deal with it. To, like I strongly believe that tumors, things like that, cancers come into our bodies because of these feelings that we don't deal with and keep storing. So I truly feel like that has something to do with it.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So when you had the major surgery, you were in middle school at that point.
I had just finished high school.
Oh, you just
Just finished high
high
school.
school.
Yeah, I was 19.
Okay.
I didn't even get to finish with my class, and I had to go and do it on my own because it was so bad at that point. And when they finally found it in September, I can't remember, September 2001, I believe it was, that they found the tumor. Then, that's where finally the healing started. I had gained a ton of weight when I was a kid. They couldn't understand why I was gaining this weight. And literally that tumor was removed and my body was shedding weight because it wasn't functioning properly.
Wow.
We just didn't know why.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you you start recovering from that surgery, how long was it before you were able to get back into your fitness in the gym, and what was that like?
So honestly, I kind of rebelled at that point in my life. I was kind of angry at the things that I had gone through already. And, I went through the whole like, why me, stage. So I recovered and I didn't go right back into it. It took me about 2 years before I started getting into fitness again because I was at that point, like, I was angry at like what was happening. I see everybody else having fun. I was told I would never have children. So that torment when I knew since I could speak that all I ever wanted in life was to be a mom,
Yeah.
and I felt like that was ripped away from me. So I feel like I spent a few years kind of dealing with all of that. And then once I'm like, all right, enough of this crap. Like it's time to get it together. And so it was about the 22 years old. So I
Okay.
was 19 when it happened. At 22 is when I really went into it. And
Okay.
then 23, I was pregnant.
23, you got
Surprise.
pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You
that
see,
that
the doctors don't always get it right.
oh yeah, right on, I mean.
They don't. We had a meeting after my surgery to basically break to me with a therapist that, listen, you're most likely never gonna have children. I had three.
You got three beautiful kids there.
Three amazing kids. Amazing.
And
Yeah.
that should be I mean, there's a whole bunch of inspiration just within that.
Yeah.
Forget even the fitness part for a second. For all these people that
Totally.
have trouble getting pregnant, people tell them
Totally.
you're never going to get pregnant. And now you got three. You know,
Three with absolutely no issues in having them.
yeah,
Gia was a complete, like when I found out I was pregnant with Gia, I'm like, there's no way. I was told this isn't going to happen. There's no way. I was terrified to accept it and be excited because I was nervous it was going to get taken away from me.
sure.
But yeah, no, it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's
Yeah, it
fantastic.
happened. Yeah,
So we continue to progress down your path.
right.
Um, at what point did you decide that you wanted to start your own fitness business?
I always knew I wanted that.
Okay.
I because I feel I do things differently. And what I wanted to give people wasn't being offered at many places. Yeah, you can go work out anywhere. You can go take a boot camp anywhere. We're flooded with them. I take a more personal approach when it comes to people. And I knew that in order for me to be able to give them the love and attention that I wanted to give them, I needed to do it my way in my own place. So that was pretty much, I started in like the big box gyms, teaching classes, training people out of the trunk of my car, So, and that's where it was like baby steps, like I started from an infant to maturing into the place that I am today. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you know? Do you recall what year that was when you started on
Oh
your own?
my God. It was probably Joey was born 2011, and I remember he was like a skeleton, all skinny. He's probably 2 years old. So 2013, I went
Okay.
on my own. Yeah,
2013. So it's been a
yeah.
while.
I just remember him being all skinny, trying to lift weights. at the park with me. Yeah. So that was 2013.
2013. And how did so you started out in other gyms out of the back of your car. How did
Yeah.
people how did the business grow? Was it just word of mouth? Was it like how did you
Word
get
of mouth.
okay.
Yeah, it's always been word of mouth. And I have to tell you, I have people that started with me then still with me today.
Wow.
And yeah, the loyalty is there. But I think that I've accomplished my goal into giving them what I wanted to give them, which is that truly personal approach. And I care. Like,
Yeah.
you are my goal now. Like, you are not just a number, you're not just a person, you're not just a member. Like, I love my clients, every single one of them, and I think, like, to me, I'm not in this for money. Obviously, I'm not in this to be the best and for everybody to know my name. I just want the people that I do come in contact with to always remember my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To just have a spot in their heart for me because I made that difference in them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, I had people that stayed with me from then, and then it was just word of mouth. Like, I have people still contact me, you're all over the Scotch Plains page. Everybody keeps recommending you. Like, I've never ever, besides my Instagram, which is a recent thing, I've never done any type of marketing. Thank God.
And it shows you and just the enthusiasm and the passion and the
Yeah,
laser like focus. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
How it comes across
I
to
don't know about yeah, I don't know about focus, but
well, we're gonna get into the focus because I know the level of focus you have. So let's
yeah.
talk about that then. When did you do your first competition? What made you want to do that?
So my first was June 2019.
June 2019.
It was
Uh,
last June
Last June, but you were getting ready for one before that.
before, and I injured myself 4 weeks out.
Okay.
I
And
tore my leg in 4 different places. So it didn't
what year was
happen.
that?
That was 2016.
2016. Okay.
Yep. It took me about 2 years to recover from that injury.
And how'd you rip up the knee? What happened?
So it was my MCL detached, and the MCL partially tore, and I refused to have surgery. And I kept training like an animal. And when that tore and everything else started working in overdrive, I tore my hamstring. When that was torn, I kept training, tore my Achilles gastrocnemius junction. So partial tear of my Achilles, and my calf is still scarred actually, the way that it healed. But yeah, and I refused to have surgery. Every doctor I went to, they're like, we have to operate, you need to stop what you're doing. I went and saw Jordan Metzel up in New York Special Hospital for Special Surgery.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, no, he's like, keep doing what you're doing. Do not stop. There's absolutely no reason that we need to go in there, cut you up. He was awesome. He was
Nice.
awesome. He's so encouraging, motivating. He was my guy. Every other doctor, the second they told me you have to stop, I'm like, yeah, you're fired.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I refuse to take that because I'm very in tune with my body. And I believe in manifestation, and I believed in healing, and that, like, whatever it took. And I just kept doing what I had to do. It took 2 years of pain, a lot of pain, but we did it. I got through it, and then I got on stage in 2019.
2019.
Yeah,
What show was that you competed in?
that was Garden State. Took first place in physique, took fourth place in figure.
Okay.
I actually was prepping to do figure. In my mind, I wanted to be a figure competitor. And then the week before, I'm watching physique, and I'm like, I want that. And my coach at the time is like, oh, no, no, you're doing figure. I said, listen, I'm doing physique with or without you. He's like, well, there's all this posing. I said, okay, cool. Learned the poses in a week, came up with a routine, took first place.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It was awesome. It was amazing. And then at that point, I knew that's where I belonged, in physique.
In physique. Okay.
Yeah, I love the shoes and all that. It's so cute, but we could do that another time.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
get 19 and then
Yep. Universe in July following that. So I went to nationals right away.
in 19.
2019, July 2019. and I took fourth place in nationals. My very first national show was huge to get top 5. I was amongst 16 women. Most of them had been competitors for years, so they had been there a lot longer than I have. And I took fourth, got pumped up. I'm like, I'm not done. And went to North Americans in August 2019, and I didn't move. I stayed in fourth place. So, and then I just the hunger just got greater and greater, and I knew that I needed it. I started prepping in January, but then COVID hit.
January of 20.
2020. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna do Universe in July. Started prepping for that, and COVID hit. And I'm sorry, I was gonna do USA's in May. So by March, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna keep prepping. I'm just gonna do damage here if we're not gonna actually compete. Slowly reversed, just kind of coasted through summer. And in August, 10 weeks out, I decided, all right, let's do this. Did Universe in November, took second place.
And
And what's that?
that got you the card, right? The IFBB.
No, that was November. I took second, South Carolina. And then I got COVID after that show. And that's when my mind was like, I'm not stopping. There's no way I'm stopping at second place when there's another show that I could take that pro card. In fact, I'm taking that pro card. You know, I got COVID. I'm like, nope, dying. I mean, I shared with you how sick I was and how brutal that was, but I made sure to basically my diet, everything was changed. So I only had to train limited days. My cardio was minimal. And that's where I went pro. I went
But
to USA's.
USA's, where was that?
Yeah, that was in Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah,
And you won
I
for,
won first in Masters and second in overall.
okay. And that's where
Yep,
so I mean,
that's
the
where I
first
went pro.
appearance is,
Yeah,
just crazy, so
I
talk about, yeah.
refused to end this year without my pro card, even if I had to jump somebody in the parking lot for theirs. I'm just kidding, but I'm like, I am getting this pro card. Like my mind, there was no if, there was no. I watched myself getting that card. I knew this year wouldn't end without that card. I had people telling me, you're crazy, you're so stupid. How are you going to prep while having COVID to this level? That pushed me even harder. I refused because this virus had taken enough from me this year. There was no way it was taking that from me.
Sure. So you
Yeah,
just and that's what I was talking about with the focus. You just stayed locked in on it,
totally. I
and
didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew. Nobody knew I was going to a show. I didn't post a damn thing until I won.
yeah, I remember
It was
Yanni
just
was
me.
texting.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
So, it's awesome.
And
Best
so what was
experience.
your, because that level of focus is something that people are probably in awe by, but what was your why? Like what made, because there's got to be a deeper reason to keep somebody focused like that. It can't just be, okay, I need my card, because there's got to be like a
No,
deeper
because
reason.
it's not even about the card. It's not even about the trophy. It's just, I love it. It, the fire I feel, I can talk about the stage all day long. I just freaking love it so much. And it it's my outlet. It's where I get to be me. I'm not mom. I'm not coach. I am Lisa. And that's where I get to show the world this is who I am without all the other stuff. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I love all the other things, but that's just
Yeah, yeah.
my thing, you know? And I feel like everybody needs that. Everybody needs to have to figure out what truly fires them, brings that life to their soul, and just once you have that, forget it. It's like, it's just, you need nothing else. I am so satisfied with life. I'm so happy. I feel so complete, and I'm just excited to keep growing. And like, even now, like most of the time when I would do shows, I'm like, oh, I'm so done with dieting. No way, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm growing, ready to go for that pro show because there's no way we're stopping now. And it's not even about like, I got to get in there and win. I just freaking love that stage.
You love
Love
to,
it.
so you love the
I
experience.
love it.
You love the competition. You love the,
Everything, the just working hard, watching the science actually happen on my body, like just watching all the work totally change you. And the drive and commitment, dedication that it takes, like that is what I want to show. And it's not about, holy crap, look at her, she's jacked and shredded. No, like, holy crap, look at her drive is insane, her commitment is through the roof, she believes in herself so much that she accomplished what she accomplished. The other is just a bonus, and
yeah,
it's just to show everybody that you don't have to do what I do, but the discipline, drive, and work ethic, as long as you have that, you can accomplish anything.
yeah,
You just have to find what drives you, what fuels your passion, you know?
yeah. And
Yeah,
it's, I remember I texted you. There's a lot of lessons in that for people. You pictured it in your head first.
I
You know,
did.
you're able to hold it there long enough where a lot of people picture something and they let it go because it's too much. It's too much work, whatever.
Yeah.
You
It
know.
scares them because they don't want to fail.
Yeah.
So before my plane took off, I made a video. And in the video, I think I tagged you in it. I said, all right, guys, nobody knows competing. I made the video. I did not post the video. I saved it in my phone because I was going to post it after. And I said, I'm going for that pro card. When I land here again, I will have my pro card. On Black Friday, I had a custom belt made that said IFBB Pro. Fit Mama Lise, IFBB Pro. Because there was no way that it wasn't happening. You know what I mean? I was bringing that to life. And I do that with everything, though. I feel like I just live my life like that. I've always, like, if I have my mindset on something, I I get there. I
Yeah.
get there. And even my friends are like, I don't get it. Even as a kid, people would be like, I don't get it. Every time you talk about a car that you want, you end up getting it. I'm like, I know, because I'm not just talking about it. I am speaking life
Yeah.
into that,
Yeah.
you know? And that's something I thank my mom and dad for. They raised us to always have such unshaken faith that you are so confident in the faith that you hold that you're able to speak things into existence. And to some people, it may seem obnoxious, but that's actually sad, because that they can't comprehend that level of strength in your tongue
Yeah.
and in your words.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
law of creation. As you think it, you write it, or talk about the word, and then you take action.
Yes. 100%.
You know.
Envision it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very inspirational. So when are you going to write a book about it?
Oh, I don't know about that.
You gotta get your.
Yeah, if somebody could write it for me, I could just talk for hours.
Hey, with my knee book, that's all. I just dictated it into my phone. That one.
Get out of here.
That's
Oh
somebody.
yeah, I'm done with that.
Yeah. And I
I
had
might be all over the place.
yeah, but then you just have somebody. You hire somebody online to make it. You know,
Yeah,
put it
I
out.
would love to. I would love to. I would love to share my story because there's so much, even like for kids that, have had issues with weight. Kids, I see more and more children going through what I went through at 19, and it was a very dark time in my life, and just for them to be able to see, like, there's always greatness on the other side.
Yeah.
You just have to want it. You have to want it. You can't get stuck in a place, and you just have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You have to hate where you're at enough to chase what's going to make you happy,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. That
Yeah,
pain is a motivator.
totally.
Very powerful. What
Totally.
does a lot of this inner belief you have? Does it come from a faith that you have?
Yeah, I believe in God. I'm Christian, was raised Christian, and I'm a big believer. It got me through all the things that I went through.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I ordered my belt, I actually sat at my dining room table. I go, all right, God, this is it. I'm all in on you. Show me what you got. Those were my exact words. Show me what you got. I'm all in. So we're coming home with that pro card, right? And that was it. That was like I speak to him, and but yeah, it comes from him.
Yeah. So you're not alone.
Yeah. Never,
Yeah.
ever alone, ever alone.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just, again, it's a great testament to, for people that are looking like they got no hope, if they just follow the blueprint that you've laid out. Again, it doesn't matter what they're trying to do.
Right.
Just follow the blueprint, have faith,
Yeah.
believe in it, believe that that this higher power, God, is helping you,
Right.
and you just don't
Right.
stop.
Yeah. Hope is always there. As long as you have breath in your lungs and your heart is beating, there is hope. If you're in a box, dead, hope is over.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But while you're here on earth, there's absolutely no reason to ever believe there's no hope. You may not be achieving the things that you want to achieve, but that's because they weren't meant for you. So there's been things, don't get me wrong, that I've spoken and I've wanted, and God kept me from them because he had something greater. Most people would look at me as closing my fitness studio as, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, no, please, I am pumped. I am excited because if he closed that and you think that's great, could you imagine the doors that he's about to open?
Yeah.
And I'm ready. But it's the way that we look at things too,
Yes. Yeah. Reframing.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a great skill set to have that's not taught to most people.
Right.
You know
No.
how to reframe
Right.
things. So
Right.
let me ask you a few questions. I know you're headed over for a workout. You said, right?
No, please. I could talk forever.
So what 5 years from now, if you picture your life, where are you at? What's happening?
5 years from now, definitely still competing. Um, at a whole different level. Whole different level. People will know my name. And I see myself, I mean, Gia at that point would be going off to college, owning my own home again with my children. Um, God willing, maybe meeting somebody who wants to be part of this, of our little family. But I'm okay without it too. But mainly, just giving my kids everything that I can and still having what I want as far as competing, and my business thriving. I mean, I see success, always see success. So, but those are the little things that I definitely want. Next step, owning my own house again, and giving my kids everything they need to achieve their education while being a badass on stage.
Nice. So with
Yeah.
the with the competition, uh, like, what's the ultimate dream?
The ultimate dream is the Olympia. I want to get invited to the Olympia.
Is it to compete there or to win it?
I'm there to win it. But listen, being there is a win. Like I said to the girls at these shows, you are competing in 2020. You won. We lived through a pandemic and you still made it here,
Yeah.
right? So again, we go back to the way we look at things. But I'm always in it to win it. Who are you kidding?
Yeah. And for those people that don't know, I mean, maybe they're not familiar with competition, guys. The Olympia is like uh, the Super Bowl, basically. For lack of
Exactly.
a better term. It's what Arnold won 7 times. It's and if you speaking of that, if you look at what the reason I'm sure you're a big Arnold fan. He would
Yes.
always talk about what you're talking about. When he was a kid, he would tell people in Austria, I'm going to go. And this is before he could speak English. He would tell his buddies, I'm going to go to America. I'm going to be the best bodybuilder ever. And he didn't even really start working out yet at that point. I'm going to become an action star in Hollywood and I'm going to go into American politics. And they would say, you're crazy. You can't even speak English, you know? And he just kept
So
on it.
awesome.
Yeah, he
But
just,
that's what it's about. You
yeah,
need to create your own future.
yeah,
You need to create your own future. That's what
yeah,
it's all about.
yeah,
Just being able to open your mind up enough to believe in the unseen. Just create it. As crazy as it may sound to everybody else, be crazy. Be so freaking crazy that when you bring it to the table and you're like, I did it, they'll be blown away.
yeah,
You can't have a mediocre mentality when it comes to you.
No.
You can't think small when it comes to your future.
Yeah.
So,
And it goes along with, if you look at what everybody else is doing, just do the opposite and you're going to be on the right path. Most people
right.
don't think like that, you know.
No,
It's like you
no,
said, they're scared of failure.
right. Totally. I mean, everybody's afraid of failure. I mean, it comes down to Kyle, like, I mean, even on a more personal level, I moved out with my children alone March 1st. Pandemic hit March 15th. My
Yeah.
business shut down for 6 months, March 18th. I had zero income. How am I now going to survive? I said, I'm doing it. There's no way I got here to turn around and lose it all. And thank God, not one bill has been missed. Not one payment has been missed. Everything's up to date and then some. Christmas was amazing. Was able to buy my parents flights to Costa Rica. Like there's no, like those things are huge for even for women that are terrified staying in broken marriages and abusive relationships. Get out. Get out. Do what you need to do because there's no, as long as you believe in yourself enough, it'll happen because that drive in you will be there. That hunger to make it happen will be there, and that's what's going to push you through.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I definitely
Yeah.
see some type of motivational speaking in your future.
Thank you. Oh my God, I would love that.
Yeah.
It's so funny you say that because I told my best friend, I said to her, I said, one day I'm going to fill a room.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to fill a huge room. I said, I'm going to share my story. I said, but I'm not going to share my story for like, oh, wow, she's awesome. I'm going to share my story to help
Yeah.
others and moms, women, everything. Like that's really where my heart is, because we forget about ourselves. Once we have children, it's run here, run there, take care of the kids. Oh my God, feel guilt for leaving the kids. There's absolutely no reason for that,
Yeah.
and just there's so much that can be done as long as you allow yourself to believe it.
There is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. The impact is, it'll continue. And I think it's just going to be exponential, you know,
right,
as,
right.
as you keep competing and you get that book done and more people find out about you, you
Yeah,
and then you just keep going on your path, which is,
yeah.
inspires me.
But
So I hope it inspires me. It's inspiring other people.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to be true to yourself, and stick to what it is that's going to drive you. I see
Yeah.
so many people talk like, oh, I wish I could do this. Oh, I wish I could do that. First of all, the way you're talking about it, you clearly don't wish for it because if you did, you would speak about it like it's happening.
Yes.
Like, this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going. This is what my plan is. Speak it as if it's already existing, even if it doesn't happen until 10 years from now. Because if you present it, even if once you tell your mind, I'm thinking about doing this, but who knows? It's a wrap.
Yeah.
You already closed your own door,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the biggest problem is getting people to believe in themselves enough to speak right.
Yeah.
Speak life. You speak life or death.
Yeah.
That's it. It's one or the other. There's no in between because that doesn't exist. So either you speak life into your future or you're killing your goals before you even started.
You're right. I mean, the people, the universe is mental. They think it's physical, but it's mental.
Right.
Everything is mental.
100%.
Yeah.
100% mental. The body just follows what my mind is telling it to do.
Yeah.
So if my mind is down in the dumps and constantly, you're going to stay in those dumps.
Yeah.
Right. And even I tell people that, feel challenged and like they're feeling down about themselves. I'm like, you got 5 minutes to do whatever this nonsense is and shake that shit off and go do what you need to do to make it better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You will never see me rubbing somebody's back and be like, oh, it's going to be okay. No, no, no. It's not going to be okay where you're at. It's not going to be okay. What are we doing? What's the plan?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Got to rise up, and that's why people follow you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're hoping to
Thank
light
you.
that torch. Their torch. Off your torch. And
Right.
people need
Yeah.
somebody.
But you've been a great mentor to me, Kyle. I talk about you all the time.
Thank
All the
you.
time. You are part of who I am. Like,
Thank
I have you in me. Like the things that I have learned from you, your energy, your drive, your discipline. I have learned so much from you over the years. So I thank you for that.
Thank you, Lisa. That means a lot.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
I'm very proud of you.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah. I
Thank
got I
you.
got one more for you.
What's up?
If you were to go back to your, how old are you now?
How dare you?
35.
Do we really have to say that? I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
I'm 30. I'm turning I'm turning 38 next month.
Okay. So 38. If you were to go back to your 20-year-old self, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Oh my God, girlfriend, stay single. What would I tell my 20-year-old self as far as fitness?
Just life.
Life. You're a child. You're a child. And just basically grow, open up, become a sponge. Accept when people come with criticism. Because I used to be very like, who are you talking to? Very like aggressive as far as like if somebody tried to critique me, because at that point I was insecure and of because of everything I had gone through. And learn yourself, give yourself time to grow before you start incorporating seriously relationships, things like that. I thank God for my children and when I had them, but I wish I could go back and give myself more time to grow and know who I am before I start incorporating all these other things that I did back then. And yeah, I think that would be my biggest thing, like becoming a sponge and learning and being open to learning. Because when you're closed off and you think you know everything, you're gonna get your ass kicked up and down in life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I sure as hell did. I am one of the most stubborn people I know, and I'm hard headed. And it took me humbling myself to being like, okay, clearly life hasn't gotten me where I wanted to get me, and it's because of this. So once I got to that point where I finally opened myself up and was okay not knowing everything, started to change. And finding mentors like yourself and things like that. Like I would tell a kid now, 20 years old, you don't know shit. Find somebody who can lead you. We all need leaders. Your time will come to lead, but in the meantime, allow yourself to be led
Yeah.
and taught. So that's probably what I would tell my pain in the ass back then.
There's great wisdom in that, and great wisdom.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. So I'll put this in the show notes, but where can people, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you for your services, or if they need some inspiration, like how do you want them to get in touch with you?
Instagram works.
Okay.
It's at fitmamalise_IFBB Pro.
Okay. That's the best way.
Yeah, or they can email allamericanmuscle20@gmail.com.
All American Muscle, the number 20
20, yep.
at Gmail. Okay. I'll put that in there. And this has been great.
This was awesome, Kyle. We got to do it again.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
much
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Man, this was,
Love it.
people are going to be inspired by this. I'll be blasting it out there. And yeah, keep up the inspirational work. Like I said, it's inspirational for me.
Thank you.
Selfishly,
Thank you. Thank you so much. That means so much to me.
yeah, it's great. I mean, it's everybody can use this type of stuff. And
Right.
journeys. Thank you for
Definitely.
sharing it with everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our stories are for sharing. They're not for
Yeah,
keeping to ourselves.
yeah,
We go through the things in life too, to truly be able to help another. And to me, I always say success isn't success until you reach back and bring somebody along. So that is everything to me.
yeah. And you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're
Thank you.
doing it. So let me
Thank
just
you so much.
You're welcome. This was a great thing. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.